Hey everyone, I'm Kayla and I work at Microsoft focusing on developer experiences, and I was the PM who delivered Windows Terminal. So today, naturally, we're going to talk about how to take your terminal from looking like a plain prompt to something that is fully customized with extra information in your prompt, and then how you can get a background image as well, and some tips and tricks that I'll throw in at the end. So let's jump in. So to start off this video, I want to call out that we should really be using PowerShell 7. Windows PowerShell has been in maintenance mode for a really long time, and it even says to go install the latest PowerShell when you start Windows PowerShell. So to do that, you can head to this link, or you can just type WinGet install pwsh, and this will go grab the latest PowerShell 7, which just has all the latest new features and bug fixes and everything, and that's what the PowerShell team has been iterating on. So I recommend starting with this, and then we'll jump into customizing our terminal and then having an awesome shell and everything from there. But I wanted to call out, you should probably get PowerShell 7 just to start, and then use that as your default PowerShell if you are a PowerShell user. Okay, so first up, I have just my plain PowerShell profile with no customizations added to it. First thing I want to do is install Oh My Posh. Oh My Posh is the tool that I like to use for customizing my prompt and getting all of that extra information in there. So I'll have links in the description, but this is on ohmyposh.dev to get started. So when we head on over to installation instructions, you can see the WinGet command here. So I can copy this out and run it in terminal. Just as a note, I'm using terminal Canary, and you can install it from the terminal GitHub page. There's a link to install the Canary builds. The Canary builds, I believe, are nightly, so there's new features coming all the time before they hit terminal preview. So here in the README, there's the installing Windows Terminal Canary section. So this is where I have grabbed my terminal build. You can come here as well, and I'll have links in the description for this too. So let's go into Terminal Canary and install Oh My Posh. So we're just going to run that command WinGet install Oh My Posh from the WinGet source. And you might also notice the rainbow progress bar. This is a WinGet setting, so I like to make my progress bars rainbow because I can. To do this yourself, you can go to WinGet settings. This will open the settings.json file. And then here in the visual object, you can change progress bar to rainbow, and that should update all of your progress bars to be rainbow colored, which I think is really fun. And then now I have Oh My Posh installed, but you can see that my prompt hasn't changed. So even if I open a new tab, Oh My Posh isn't here. And this is because this isn't applied to the PowerShell profile. It's a little confusing because Windows Terminal has this set of profiles, but PowerShell, the executable, has a profile of its own, which is completely separate from Terminal. It's just what the shell is using. So to get there, I usually just write Notepad $profile. You can use your favorite editor for this. VS Code and VS Code Insiders work just as well. I just have the habit of writing Notepad profile. When you run this for the first time, this file probably doesn't exist, so it'll ask if you want to create it, and this will create it in your documents folder. But then from there, you can add the following commands to get your Oh My Posh up and running. So the first command we're going to want, well, actually, the only command we want for Oh My Posh, this is a different module that we'll talk about in a little bit. But the command you'll want for Oh My Posh is Oh My Posh init with the config of whichever theme that you want. I have a custom theme going that I built off of the OneShell theme, and this lives in my downloads folder. But if you just wanted a theme from Oh My Posh, you'll have to change this path. So let's actually look at the docs for how we can do that, and then I'll show the themes that Oh My Posh has as well. So if you head over to the Customize page on the docs, you can see how to just set a config with just a command in the command line, or you'll want to set this in your PowerShell profile so it applies every time PowerShell is launched. So this is the format that I'm using because I'm pointing to a local theme file that I have, but you can also just point to a theme without extensions by just writing the name. So let's say I wanted to just use the base theme, which is Jan's theme. I'll just copy the theme name over and put it into my notepad with my PowerShell profile. And then if I head back into Terminal and start a new tab, you should be able to see the theme update. So this is Jan's theme called Jan de Davalier. I like to use other themes and kind of switch it up. So let's take a look at some of those. If you head over to the themes section in the docs, this is kind of where all of the themes are listed, and you can scroll through what they look like. I like to use OneShell. I think I started using it because it was the first one listed, but it's kind of become my favorite because I like how minimalistic it is. And I'm not too big on the full colored bar, but if you like it, go ahead and add it. All of these themes you can grab and use the same method I just showed of just putting this theme name into your PowerShell profile file. Now, when you're doing this for the first time, you might notice your icons not appearing, and that's because of the font that's set. So I already had this set up. I've been running Oh My Posh for years, so the video is a little bit out of order, but if you're doing this for the first time, you're gonna notice that these icons aren't loading. What you're gonna want is a nerd font. So if you head to nerdfonts.com, you can take a look at all the nerd fonts that are available. So over here on nerd fonts, you can look at all the icons they have and then also the downloads. And from here, you can grab your favorite font. I am partial to Cascadia Code because I worked on it. And there's a fork of Cascadia Code that includes all of the nerd font glyphs called Cascadia Cove Nerd Font. They also have the mono version as well if you don't want all of the coding ligatures in there. But from here, you'll want to download the font or whichever font that you like, and then extract and install all of the font files from the download zip file. Then the font will be registered on your machine, and then you can set it in your terminal profile. So here you'll want to extract all of these files out of the zip file and then install them. You can do this individually by clicking on them individually, but once it's installed, if you right click after selecting all of them, it should say install all in the context menu. Okay, so the nerd font is installed. Now we need to just enable it in terminal. So back in terminal, I have opened settings from the dropdown and clicking on settings. And then I'm going to the profile itself. So I have created a profile that's just meant to be the plain PowerShell that I'm going to customize throughout this video. But you can manage all of your profiles from here, and then also any other terminal settings that you want from here as well. Once you go to your profile, you can hit the appearance button, and then on font face, this is what you're going to want to change to that nerd font that you've installed, and then make sure you hit save. The way that terminal settings work is there's a little bit of a hierarchy. So if you wanted, let's say, Cascadia Cove nerd font to apply to all of your profiles, you'd apply that to the defaults section. So all of the defaults apply to all of the following profiles that you have. And then if you want a profile specific setting, you'll just set that in the profile itself. So the profile specific setting takes a higher precedence over the default settings. So if you want base customizations, but then special customizations per profile, you can do that with terminal settings. Okay, so we've set our font to Cascadia Cove Nerd Font, and now you can see that the icons are properly loading. And I'm using Jan's theme as well. So all the icons are here, everything looks great. So that's how you get started with Oh My Posh, just setting it up with a base theme. But I did mention that I'm using a custom theme, so let me actually go apply that. And we could talk about what's in it. I also just keep my theme file in my downloads folder, but we're not gonna talk about it. I should really put this in OneDrive so it's just everywhere. But when you modify the profile file for PowerShell, it doesn't automatically take place, and it won't take effect either if you run a command. You have to restart the profile so that the shell goes and grabs the information from that profile file again. So here I'm just opening a new tab to kind of show that. So now I've got my theme that I like to use that's in my downloads folder. So let's go take a look at that and actually talk about customizing some of the pieces or segments, which is what Oh My Posh likes to call it, in your prompt. So if you like a theme but you want to customize it to your workflow, this is how you could do that. Let me dig up my theme file and we'll take a look at it in VS Code. Okay, here's what the theme file looks like, and it's just a JSON file with objects in it. Before I dive too deep on the file itself, let's take a look at segments and what you can do with them. So in the configuration dropdown in the docs, the segment section kind of talks about what segments do, and then the architecture or structure of how they're built. And then you can also go through looking at blocks. So blocks are kind of like what's in between the segments. And then you can change your console title, colors, etc., etc. So if you're really trying to go all out on customizing a theme, you could take a look at the configuration section. For today, we're just going to look at the segment section and then look at the segments that I have in my custom theme. So segments are what gives your prompt that extra information. So if you want your Git information, your number of WinGet installs, the time of day, those are all different segments. So the available segments are in the segments dropdown, and you can poke through these and see if there's any that are particular to your workflow or your day-to-day that you want to include. And then this is where customizing that theme kind of comes in. So one thing I like to do is look at my WinGet packages and what has updates. So I went ahead and built a WinGet segment and contributed to the Oh My Posh repository. But here you can now get WinGet updates. And I just did like the number of updates that are available. And then whenever that appears, I know I can run WinGet upgrade. And then I have updates available that I can go install. But there's also segments for any source control protocol that you like to use, along with languages that your project might be relevant in. So I highly recommend taking a look through these and seeing if there's any that pique your interest that you want to include in your theme. And then you can take the segment configuration or the sample configuration and add it to your theme file. So here's the sample JSON for adding WinGet. And I already have it in my file because I added it myself to my OneShell theme. So let's actually look at this side by side so you can see what is pointing to what. So the first thing is the foreground color with the leading diamond. That's this right here. And then I have my username, which is over here. And then the date and the format as well. And then it goes into the segment I added for WinGet, which is right here. So you can kind of walk through the JSON objects and see how they correlate to the prompt that you're looking at, and then customize it however you want from there. So if you want to play around with adding more segments, I recommend using the docs, grabbing those segment samples, and then throwing them in based off where you want them to appear in your theme, and then creating a custom theme. And then I saved mine to my downloads folder. Don't recommend that. But then you can point to your file path in your PowerShell profile, and then it should just take effect and everything should just work. So that's right here where you're changing that theme name that we originally had to the file path of where your theme file lives. Now, the other thing I want to show is this module that I have that's called terminal icons. Now, this is open source on GitHub as well, and it just helps show some fun icons in your terminal when you're looking at file names, for example. So the way that you install this is you run this install module command in PowerShell, and then when you want it to take effect every time PowerShell is run, you'll want to include the import module command in your PowerShell profile. So I've already run the install module command, so you could just run this in PowerShell. And then we're going to uncomment it in my PowerShell profile so that you can see it working. Just to kind of show you the effect, let me head over to a folder really quick. All right, I'll run ls, and you can see I don't have any of those cool icons, but I want them. So let's head into Notepad again and uncomment this line. Now, because we're editing our PowerShell profile, I need to restart this again. What's nice is that you usually only have to edit this once, and then you don't have to worry about restarting PowerShell. This is just more for the demo purposes. So let's head back into my PowerToys folder, and then we'll run ls again. And now you can see I got all these cool icons. Sweet. So that's customizing your prompt, customizing your icons whenever you run ls or anything that shows files. Now let's talk about the background image. So my terminal, I always have a background image. I'm a huge fan of that feature. Let's talk about how to do it. So we're back in terminal settings, which is from this dropdown. I just left the tab open, and then jump into appearance. And then here we have background image path. This is what we're going to change so we can add a background image. This you can either set to use your desktop wallpaper, which is kind of cool, or you can browse for a file or paste a file path directly. I had this on my clipboard, but I like to keep my background images in OneDrive so I can just pull them down and use the same path every time. And I'm just gonna hit save. Now you can see the background image has updated, and I have this cool like emerald green wave that I love. One thing I recommend if you're using a kind of flashier background image, I recommend turning down the background image opacity because sometimes it can make the text hard to read. So if I pump this all the way up to 100%, you can see that now the text has become a little bit more difficult to read. So it just depends on your preference. And if you turn down the background image opacity, the background color of your color scheme is what's coming through instead. So I have the Campbell color scheme set up, which just has a black background. But if you had a light theme, or if you're using the Ubuntu theme, for example, then the color that's going to be overlaid is going to be the background color of the color scheme. So you can see how this looks a little bit more like purpley. So we'll just save this back to Campbell, and then you can see that I have just a black background that's kind of overlaying on top of my background image. One place I like to grab background images is from unsplash.com. There's a ton of different wallpapers and things in here that are pretty cool. That's where I grabbed mine, so I recommend checking this website out. And then if you want a bunch of different color schemes apart from the ones that ship inside Terminal, I recommend checking out Terminal Splash. And this is community run, which is pretty cool, and there are hundreds of color schemes in here, so I recommend checking this out too. So we've gone through customizing our prompt, we've added icons to the terminal, and we've also changed our background image. We've talked about color schemes a little bit. And I think the last thing maybe we want to cover in this video is just some quick tips and tricks in Terminal that you might not know about. So the first one is you can split panes. So in this dropdown, here are all the different shells that I have. If I wanted to split a pane, I can hold the Alt button and click on it. And then I can split a new pane 50-50 of the pane that I had selected. So if I keep going, you can get all the panes, which is kind of cool. So then you can do different work at the same time. If you have like a server running and then you want to be working on the front end or something, you can have everything all in one terminal tab, which is really handy. And if you want to close a pane, it's Control-Shift-W. So there's split panes, which is fun. You can hit Control-Shift-P to open the command palette. It's also in the dropdown if you can't remember Control-Shift-P. Right there. So then here you can do split pane from here as well, and you can also pick the direction that you want it to split. These split pane commands help you pick the direction, but these will split using your default profile. So it's going to split the pane and then open your default profile in the open space. If you wanted to split a pane with a specific profile, you can head to split pane ... and then pick your profile from here and open it that way, and then pick the direction. And again, Control-Shift-W will close this. Another fun way to do a lot of work at once in Terminal but know what you're doing is you can change your tab color. So you can right click on a tab and pick a new color. So if you again have like a server running on a different tab and you want to identify it easily, you can just change your tab colors. And then some settings that I like to have enabled. When Terminal starts, I like to restore the window content and the window layout. So rather than starting from a fresh pane every time, I like having my old session come back up, which is really handy. So I always change this to restore window layout and content. And then whenever you're making a new instance, if you want it, you can have it create a new window, or you can just have it attached to the most recently used window, which is kind of handy if you're constantly using the same terminal window as well. And then lastly, if you want to pick which profile always opens by default when you open Terminal, you can select your default profile here. And then whenever you click New Tab or open Terminal itself, and you haven't selected the Restore Window Layout and Content option, it'll open with your default profile, and mine is just PowerShell 7. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you trick out your terminal with a fun prompt and a cool background image, definitely feel free to show me. I'd love to see it. And I'll be making more videos about Windows development, along with developing with AI and GitHub Copilot. I've been doing a lot in that space recently, so I'm planning to make some videos about that. So if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.